put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to the Tobago Updates Youth Morning Show, coming to you live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. Now, for those of you joining us as you take your morning breakfast, and even for those of you tuning in on the radio, I just want to say thank you so much for choosing Tobago Updates to start your morning on the right note. I am Luke Trim.
And I am Kaylee Lewis. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning to all of you joining us on the various platforms. You know, we just want to say a special good morning to all of you. It's a very rainy morning. As Luke would have said, God is doing his thing. We're experiencing a lot of rain this morning. This is weather to be home, lying down, cover up under your sheets. Correct. But you know, we're here. We're here to entertain the people of Tobago and the wider world. My name is Kaylee Lewis, and I'm also joined by...
Good morning, Tobago. My name is Joshua Dan, and it's really a pleasure to be in studio this morning despite the rainy weather.
Guys, so what's been happening in this space thus far? I think so much has happened this weekend. I think this Sunday we would have seen the launch of a particular party, the TPP. What are your thoughts on that? Well,
I mean, we've been hearing a lot of chatter in this space about the logo, and I think that it's very, very significant. I think that it was an excellent choice of a logo, the anchor.
Yes. Yeah. It was an excellent choice also. I think people were just lamenting, you know, trying to merge church and politics. I think a lot of people were not in agreement with that. But then again, you know, we are delighted that they would have started the party, because we know they would have been independent for a good while.
Exactly.
Yeah, they would have been independent. So you know, we're happy to see that. But you know, we want to chat, but we can't chat as long as we want to, because we have to head over to news in 90 seconds with Joe Sheldon.
The news in 90 seconds is brought to you by Flow, working for you on Tobago's newest fiber network.
Thank you, Kaylee and Luke. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Wednesday, 16th August 2023. Political leader of the Tobago Council of the PNM, Ansel Dennis, warned the Chief Secretary, Fali Augustine, and the membership of the TPP that they are not above the law. Speaking on the Minority Report last night, Dennis addressed some of the statements made at the TPP launch on Sunday. He criticized Augustine's remarks about the action sanctioned by the Commissioner of Police, stating that if Augustine were innocent, he would not be the subject of a police investigation. Meanwhile, Dennis is expected to host a press conference at 2 p.m. today to present evidence of alleged political victimization in the THA. Scarborough's urban redevelopment's final report has been greenlit for public review. Initiated by the Tobago House of Assembly, the project envisions a modern city in Scarborough offering civic and tourism facilities. Gemitrix Limited was tasked to enhance the conceptual plan following public consultations. To ensure feasibility, the report encompasses market analysis, coastal engineering, port and urban design, and historical factors. Infrastructure Secretary Trevor James lauds the team's dedication and incorporation for public input, especially regarding environmental concerns. The next consultation phase is anticipated, with foreign governments even expressing interest in some aspects. The local government elections saw a 30% voter turnout, as reported by the EBC. Preliminary results were unveiled last evening, indicating the UNC secured the popular vote, receiving more than 173,000 ballots. Collaborating with the NTA, they garnered nearly 16,000 votes, totaling 190,000. The PNM obtained just over 130,000 votes, whereas the PDP gained 1,287, and the Unity of the People secured 110 votes. And that concludes your news in 90 seconds.
The news in 90 seconds is brought to you by Flow, working for you on Tobago's newest fiber network.
Tobago, after freeness is more speed and better TV. Get a free Samsung smartphone and free installation, plus 200 megabits per second, Paramount Plus, and more for only $299 with a select 200 plan from Flow. Visit online at discoverflow.co today.
Thank you very much, Joshua, for that read of the news in 90 seconds. And now we're going to head over to our birthday, sponsored by KFC.
This is your birthday shoutouts on Tobago Updates, sponsored by KFC.
So first on our list, we have Shirl Douglas. So we're sending happy birthday greetings going out to you, Shirl Douglas, from the Tobago Updates family.
Next on our list, we're sending out happy birthday to Afia Motuli Brathwaite. A happy birthday to you, and I hope you enjoy your day today. And that's it for all birthdays.
Birthday shoutouts on Tobago Updates, sponsored by KFC.
From the experts that created the Zinger sandwich comes the KFC Crispy Barbecue Zinger.
The only one I see is you.
Cheddar cheese, crispy onions, the most delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken, and barbecue sauce. Get ready for a whole new level of flavor.
Alright, so viewers, we have to give you the rundown. Kaylee, would you like to do the honors?
Sure. So first on our list, we have Mr. Giovanni Thomas, and he's going to come to talk about a new business venture that he would have embarked on. Next, we're going to be speaking again with the NESC folks. So they're going to come and they're going to speak about something that's happening within that space. And last but not least, we're going to have Luke interviewing some folks from the health department. So viewers, remember to stay tuned. We're going to head over to Tobago in Focus. Please remember to
Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
The issue of land tenure preventing persons involved in agriculture to access incentives from the Department of Agriculture has been addressed. Registration and Incentive Officer in the Department of Agriculture, Tobago House of Assembly, Giselle Davis, explains.
Prior, we focused on that land ownership where you must have been the registered owner of the property. It was eased a number of years ago where we now look at land tenure. Land tenure meaning that for me, for example, I might be an owner of a parcel of land and you might be interested or you might be a relative to me in farming. So what we can do is do an agreement, a lease agreement, or I can give you an affidavit. However, whatever land tenure document the person intends on using must be a legal binding document. And also, I must show that I have the rights to give you permission to occupy the parcel of land. Even though I am not the registered owner, I might be the person in charge of and paying taxes on behalf of same.
These agricultural incentives are aimed at encouraging persons to get involved in agriculture, to boost productivity, to encourage good agricultural practices, and to attract new persons to the sector.
Equipment and machinery, water for agriculture, we have land preparation, there are incentives for agro-processors to bring your holding up to HACCP readiness. We have for marketing as well. So each incentive, and I must mention that there are also incentives for vehicles as well.
This program is national, and all qualified persons are encouraged to take advantage of the investment. Farmers must be registered with the Department of Agriculture and includes beekeepers, agro-processors, farmers, cooperatives, and organizations.
So each incentive, coming back to that, carries its own rebate percentage. So the incentive is not a before, it's after. It's a rebate system. So the person purchases, farmers, fisher folk, beekeepers, agro-processors, and we now give back up to 50% of what they will have spent. So for example, under the equipment and machinery incentive, that will cover items like your brush cutters, your water pumps, items like those. The rebate on that is 50%, but all we would pay is $50,000.
For more information and to sign up for these incentives, visit the department at the Milshiv Administrative Complex, Shervan Road, or call 639-1966, extension 3585 or 3586. The Department of Agriculture is part of the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment, and Sustainable Development.
Good morning, Tobago, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates Youth Morning Show. This morning we have with us a young entrepreneur. He is Mr. Giovanni Thomas. Good morning, Giovanni.
Good morning, Kaylee. Good morning to Tobago by extension.
Okay, Giovanni, so tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Giovanni Thomas?
I spend the majority of my time working in some of my business ventures. Apart from doing that, I think critically about ways to become more innovative and effective in society. My hobbies are just playing football. So if it's not business, then it's football.
Okay, quite interesting. So you spoke about your business ventures. Recently, you would have embarked on a new business venture. So can you tell the viewers a little bit about that?
I started JT Salt Life. This business came about a day. One of my friends shouted me and they asked, I'm coming up to your side, Castara. You know what we're doing today? And it was a really good question, like what is there to do in Castara during the day? And it was an idea that it has been on my mind for a while. And seeing that he asked, you know what we're doing today, just came back to me and I started thinking about doing the clear kayaking.
Okay, so clear kayaking, is that the only service that you offer?
No, I also provide stingray feeding, paddle boarding, coastline tours. We take people to private beaches as well, and we have a lot more coming.
Okay, so JT Salt Life, I think that's quite an interesting name. Tell the viewers the inspiration behind that.
The inspiration behind the name, my dad, he's a tour guide and he goes by JT Unique Tours. So I just felt as if it's something that I should carry on since I am JT as well. And the Salt Life just came about.
Okay, that's very cute. You're carrying on the name from your dad. That's really, really cute. Okay, so youth entrepreneurship. How important would you say that is for young persons to get involved in entrepreneurship as youths? And for yourself, how has it benefited you so far?
I think entrepreneurship is very important for youth. It helps you build character. It also is very important because, you know, just coming out of high school, you just sit and you can't wait for someone to do something for you. You have to get up and do something for yourself. And I think youth entrepreneurship is the way, because I think youth entrepreneurship is the way.
Okay, so we're going to take a short break, viewers, and we're going to be right back.
Summerama, real steam for the summer standard. Is a dream for the summer. Dreamy, steamy, standard. What you have? All the best deals, no drama. Standard be beat like a hammer. Go tell your friend, tell your papa, tell your mama. We got more. Standards have what you're searching for. Quality brand, discounts galore. New things for the summer, online in store. Summertime is here, so make the most out of it at Standard. Never beaten on quality and price. It's nice.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning.
Okay, viewers, so we're here and we're back with Giovanni Thomas of JT Salt Life. So we were talking about youth entrepreneurship. Let's talk about some of the challenges that you may have faced since you would have embarked on this business venture.
Some of the challenges that I have faced are, sometimes you go down to the beach and the water is not safe to do anything, so you can't take people out. You just have to pack up and maybe try another day. If you look at the weather today, it's really rainy, so today won't be a nice day. So it's not really every day you get to go out and it's calm seas, white sand. Sometimes it's really rough and you just have to come to terms that you can't do this every day. Sometimes the wind gets out of control and the current, so you don't want to send anyone out and then they blow away. So
Okay, that's good. You're valuing the safety of your customers. Earlier on, you would have mentioned that you saw the need for something, and that is why you would have started JT Sort Life. And I think that's very important, especially in business. You know that you're not doing something that's already saturated, something that everybody else is doing. But that's really what entrepreneurship is. Being innovative. You saw the need for something, and you would have implemented it. You spoke about one of the challenges also being the weather and that kind of thing. How about financing? Because I know for entrepreneurs, small business owners, financing is one of the main challenges that they experience. What was that experience like for you?
it was quite challenging, but thankfully I have very supportive parents and they made the journey a lot easier for me, but it really was challenging.
Okay. Okay, that's important to note. And something else that you could probably take into consideration, there's the BDU Business Development Unit and that kind of thing. You have grants from NEDCO, things like this people use to finance their business. So that's probably something you can take into consideration in the future for the future plans that you have for JT Sort Life. Are there any plans that you want to share with the viewers, or no, that's top secrets?
Well, I am all about surprises. So what
okay.
I can advise everyone to do is to follow the page on Instagram, turn on post notifications because I have lots of surprises coming soon.
Okay, wonderful. And is there anything that you can say to inspire youth entrepreneurs, small business owners? Probably they have an idea just like you, and they've been having the idea for a while and they never did anything about it. What can you say to inspire that person?
I would inspire them. I would say to them to try. At the start it isn't always easy, but at least try, because when you put it into motion is when you start seeing things like, wow, I never knew that this would happen, that would happen. We have it luckily to use the phone to get tips. You could go onto YouTube, get free experience on the internet. So I would advise anyone to try.
Okay, I think it's perfect that you mentioned that the opportunity we have as young persons in this day and age, with technology and all of that. Some of the experience that you have did you get it from your dad, from shadowing him, being with him on tours and that kind of thing, so that you could create a whole new tourism product really?
Yes, I was highly inspired by him. Being able to walk up to people that you don't know, it's not easy. At the start, it was a bit rough, but when you want to share knowledge and educate people, you have to be brave, and it's something that he always taught me, so it became easier for me.
Okay, and I mentioned tourism a little earlier on. Tourism, Castara, that Castara in the Tobago space is one of our treasures, one of our treasured villages in terms of tourism. How do you see your business contributing to Castara as a village and to tourism in Tobago?
I see it contributing as it comes up on someone's bucket list. By marketing my business, I am marketing Castara, beach tourism for Castara. So I would say tourism.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. And is there anyone that you would like to recognize for the success of your business so far? I mean, I know that there's probably a lot of people, you may forget some people, but you know who you could remember off the top of your head?
First off, I'd like to thank God. I would like to thank my friends for always sticking with me. They come out on a daily and they help me out a lot. My parents, grandparents, and everyone supporting.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, excellent. So Giovanni, we want to thank you for coming and chatting with us this morning. You could probably just give the viewers, contact information, social media stuff, and that kind of thing, so that they could check out JT Salt Life.
All right. So my contact number is 362-5698, or you can check the page out on Instagram. We go by JT Salt Life.
All right, all right. So viewers, that was Giovanni Thomas of JT Salt Life. His business is located in Castara, Tobago, as we would have mentioned. Be sure to check him out on Instagram at JT Salt Life. This is just a little price list here of the services he offers and the prices as well. So be sure to check him out, and we're going to take a short break. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Are you looking for a place for your loved ones? Heavenly Care welcomes you. Located at Northside Road opposite Massey Motors, we offer a variety of services. These include doctor visitations, social activities, geriatric care, and much more. Contact us at 277-9595 or visit us at Northside Road opposite Massey Motors. At Heavenly Care, compassion is at the heart of all care.
Inner Health, number 13B, Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago, with over 25 years experience, offering services in and not limited to microscopic blood analysis, reflexology, and the sale of a wide range of organic herbal products used to supplement thyroid, lymphatic, heart, kidney, and brain health, and the male and female reproductive systems. Come and chat with us. Remember, your health is your wealth.
Right now, Tobagonians are just currying down to Bonaccord, right in Stobie Local Road. You know why? To come down and shop at Authentic Builders General Hardware, the only hardware store in Tobago that is giving you guys Trinidad prices. So for instance, such as steel, 1/2 inch and 5/8, $7,895. 5/8 construction ply for $260. Every single thing that you will need to do your home renovation or start your new construction, we have it right here. And to get your quotation, it's very easy. Just WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will do your free WhatsApp quotation for you.
Are you flood ready? Review and update insurance coverage. Install floodgates and barriers. Create a family flood plan. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. TATIL, where people are people.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Jimmy's Holiday Resorts has 1, 2, and 3 bedroom fully self-contained apartments located at the heart of Crown Point. Minutes walk to the popular beaches, restaurants, bars, and the airport. Enjoy our amazing amenities such as fully equipped apartments complete with Wi-Fi, AC, TV, and a pool, and a mini-mart on the compound. Call 639-8292 or 8929. Jimmy's Holiday Resorts is your family's home away from home.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, and welcome back. I am Luke Trim, and summer internships, they give students the crucial network experience as they can learn from employers, mentors, industry experts, and much more. This morning, we will be chatting with some representatives from the Tobago Regional Health Authority as we're going to discuss their summer internship program. So a special morning to all of you all.
Good morning. Thank you very much. Good
And how are you all doing this morning?
Very well.
Okay, so starting from my far right, I would like you to introduce yourself and we'll just come down the line.
Okay, certainly. So good morning again. My name is Alison Rambran Andrews, and I am currently the hospital administrator at the Roxborough Hospital.
My name is Anthony Archer. I am an intern at the TRHA program.
Good morning. My name is Shanika Adams. I'm also an intern.
Okay, great. So, viewers, listeners, if you all didn't know, Shanika and Anthony are actually my very dearest, closest classmates. And, it's just an honor to be joined with you all this morning and, to see you all thriving and doing good. I love that little Bishopian energy. So starting things off, Miss Allison, can you tell us what this entire internship is about? Because I think is this the first time that this program was kicked off?
Okay,
so tell us a bit
certainly.
about it.
All right. So no, it is not the first time. This program, or something like it, resembling it, is an endeavor that the TRHA started many years ago. For very many reasons, and most recently, COVID being the main reason, we would have suspended the program. This year, however, as we try to return to normalcy and a normal state of operations, we decided to once again jumpstart our summer internship program. And with that, we made a brief presentation to our board of directors, and it, received overwhelming support at that level. And here we are.
Okay, great. And Shanika, Miss Allison would have spoke about overwhelming support, and it is my knowledge that over 500 applicants would have applied for this internship program, and 53 were selected. So how did you feel when you got that call? I'm trying to get into contact with Shanika Adams. I'm just here to inform you that you have been accepted to the TRHA summer internship program. How did you feel when you got that news?
I must say I was elated. The TRHA, I knew to have given me the opportunity, the first-hand experience, because I'm currently studying medicine at the University of the West Indies St. Augustine campus. So I knew that the TRHA would be a perfect fit for me. It would allow me to have that real-life experience that I would need in my clinical years and even when I begin my career. So I must say I am very elated, and I did enjoy this program.
Oh, that is great. That it's really amazing to hear that you're getting experience in your field, because we know in Trinidad and Tobago it's really difficult to get that experience in the field you're interested in. So Anthony, what about you? How did you feel when you got the news?
When I got the news, I was elated, beyond elated. I was shocked because I was actually doing something for my grandmother at the moment, and I saw her coming with the phone. I have a phone call, I have a phone call. It's an unregistered number, and unregistered numbers are most time important. As I pick up, it was Miss Allison, and she indicated to me that I was successful in the program, and I just switched. Yes.
That's great. So what is your field of study, and what area were you placed in TRHA?
So my field of study is, I am doing a bachelor's in environmental science and, with psychology. I was placed in the Department of Environment at the TRHA.
So we see another one was placed in the field that they're interested in. So Ms. Allison, it brings me to question, what is the importance of making sure that our youths are placed in that field of their expertise?
All right, so that was something that we held dear to us as we were placing the students, because we believe that it would provide our interns with the most enriching and fulfilling internship. You really don't want to come into a world of work where we are attempting to give you an insight into what it really takes to work and, what that environment is like. And you are placed in an area so remote from your academic endeavors that there is really no meshing, there is no synergy. So I think it is important for students to see where they can be in a few short years. And I think that brings a lot of benefit to our students. So that is something that we attempted to do with all our students. Place them in areas closely affiliated, if not the area of study, with their areas of study.
That's excellent. So Shanika, what was the best part about this internship program for you?
I must say it was taking bloods. As I said, I am studying medicine. I live for the experience. I live for the first-hand experience. And I got the privilege of taking bloods under the patronage of Dr. Joseph. So Dr. Joseph, I was allowed to shadow her. And she gave me that first-hand experience. So I was able to take bloods. And it was something so enriching to be able to calm the patient down, but still receive much-needed feedback as to where I can improve and where I did go right. And I'm saying that throughout this time, I must say I've learned a lot. And there is no knowledge that has been short. When I say that, I have gained so much. that I would say knowledge that cannot be acquired within the classroom, but much so something that you have to experience firsthand. Because you will only learn so much when you are in school, but it makes a difference when you are in the field, because what you learn in book becomes what you are doing in real life. And sometimes you have to adjust what you learn within that school environment to the real life experience. So I would say it was taking bloods.
Okay, great, taking bloods. I could imagine that you were in your glee.
Yes.
So Anthony, what about you?
For me, it was my placement. So I was placed under Mr. Anderson McPhee, and he was my supervisor basically. And he gave me a lot of first-hand on-the-job experience. So he never left us in the office. He took us out. He carried us on all his field exercises, so we would learn where the whereabouts, ups and downs of how his department is supposed to be run, how to deal with persons, how to deal with different kinds of employees, and that was invaluable to me. I can't ask for a better experience than that placement.
Okay, great. And Miss Allison, what was your I need to hear your perspective about this entire program, because I can feel the energy, I can feel the vibe, I can tell it's something that you are genuinely passionate about. So what was your takeaway from this entire program?
So I see this as the TRHA investing in the TRHA's future as we invest in our youth. I think that this was a really, really good project. My takeaway, it was so interesting to see a bunch of 53 students at the start of this program, June 26th, all nervous and, apprehensive and not knowing what was there for them, and perhaps thinking, well, am I just going to walk around the hospital and do nothing all day? To see where they are today, to see how integrated. They have melded well with all our departments. Sometimes you forget, oh, these are the interns, because you think, okay, this is a new staff member, and you go like that. So I think that is the takeaway, how easy it was for our students to acclimatize to their new environment. And I think, based on what Shanika and Anthony would have said, they are really projecting. They are seeing themselves there in a couple of years, which I think was the goal and the objective of this program. We have met it.
Okay, that's great. So Shanika, I would just want to ask you, to the youths who would like to apply to the program next year, what are some words of encouragement you would like to give to them?
I would say go there with an open mind. The TRHA is not just limited to the hospital. All fields of study is needed in the TRHA, whether it be IT, whether it be engineering, Anthony's program, environmental studies, everything has its area in the TRHA. Just come there with an open mind. Even though you don't know what you want to do, go there looking for the opportunity to figure out where's your niche, and once you find your niche, go for it. I went to the TRHA already studying medicine. I knew I wanted to study medicine, but while I was there, especially in one of my facility tours to the hospital, I realized that forensic pathology is my niche. Yes. I love forensic pathology. Yes, I knew before when I was in high school, but when I went to that area and I saw the work style there, I knew that is what I want to be. That's where I belong. And that's what I'll tell everyone. Go there with an open mind. You don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be a nurse. You could be an IT technician. You could be an engineer, anything. But just go there with an open mind, enjoy it, and make new friends. Because at the end of the day, we all have a common goal to reach well in our careers. But just go there and make friends, enjoy. Everything will be well. TRHA is the place to be.
Great. Anthony?
As Shanika said, it also helped me find my niche because I initially just wanted to be an environmental scientist. But after my placement, I think I'll be more geared towards environmental management because it was an experience that impacted me. I like the environment, I like the job, and the way how it was given to me. I appreciate that, so I would work towards that goal now.
Okay,
Yes.
amazing. And Miss Allison?
Yes, so I think that this program has taught us that there's no empty cup, full cup. We have learned from the students as much as I believe that they have learned from us. It was lovely interacting with them over the last 7 weeks. We have just about a week and a half to 2 weeks left in the program. And I think the best is yet to come. We have some interesting activities coming up, and it would culminate in our graduation ceremony. And I really want to say that we have invested in this program. We plan, as of now, to have a repeat next year and only grow in our experiences.
Okay, amazing. So it was a pleasure having you all here on the Youth Show. You know, this was a really informative segment. Yeah, it's a really informative segment. I really hope that next year I could be a part of this amazing internship program. So, viewers, that was the Tobago Regional Health Authority. So we're gonna take a short break and we're gonna come back. So just bear with us. We'll be right back. So remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Are you flood ready? Recycle and properly dispose of large waste. Avoid sweeping yard clippings or trash into drains. Plant trees to avoid soil erosion. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. TATIL, where people are people.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
October will never be better with Tobago Carnival Fever. Okay, passage and come on over.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes for breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Viewers, we are back chatting with representatives and interns from the TRHA Summer Internship Program. Now, we would have just covered the more detailed aspect of the interview, and now we're going to be taking things from a more visual approach. So we have a little video for you all to view, so let's see what that video is all about.
I hope that you, having experienced the next couple weeks, would change the way you think about your life, would change the way you think about your family's lives, would change the way you think about Tobago. Yes, you're going to learn employment skills. Yes, you're going to learn accounting and human resources and customer service and health related stuff. Yes, you are going to learn that. But you are also going to learn what it takes to be a responsible adult in Tobago. And coming out of that, you are going to be able to take care of you and take care of your families in the future.
The return of this annual July-August internship program is indicative of yet another step in our phased approach to return to normal operations. Collectively, the Board of Directors and Executive Management acknowledge the importance of providing our island's young scholars with opportunity for personal and career development. Hence the theme of this year's program, Investing in Youth, Building with Us. This theme lays expectation for both you and the authority. It is expected that as we invest in each of you through hands-on experience and skills training, that you in turn assist us in our quest to provide the very best healthcare experience to our patients.
You will understand how an organization such as the TRHA works. You will see many times persons on the television complaining in the media, we didn't get this service. We came in an emergency and we wait how long? Or this service is not available in Tobago. And a lot of people make all these fantastic conclusions as to why these things are happening. you have the opportunity to understand how an organization works, how this organization works, how healthcare is delivered in Tobago.
So some of you all are going to be at the hospital, some of you all are going to be in health centers, and some of you all are going to be at the head office. So you get an interchange of how it connects. As someone said before, sometimes what you do and also what you do not do impacts on someone's life. So you need to take what you're doing here very seriously. It may seem like, you just come to get a little stipend and you dip your foot into the world of work, but you're going to be exposed to real projects that have an impact, real data collection that has an impact. It's going to be, transposed nationally. So put your best foot forward. If you do not know, you do not understand, ask a question. That's why we are here, to help you all learn and grow. And I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you all enjoy this program and take it back to wherever you are when they see you with your little thing. Where's that, TRHA, the hospital in Tobago, ting. Nice. So welcome and have a good day.
That was a very interesting video. It was very informative. And I would have taken away from the CEO, Mr. Alexander, he would have noted that it's only until you get to work in the hospital you see what really happens in the background. And I could have related to that because as an employee at TRHE, it wasn't until I started working there I understood, okay, this is what happened at accident and emergency. This is what happens when you want to get some record, some type of medical record. So, Shanika, I would like to get your perspective before and after, before joining TRHA and after you joined TRHA, what was the difference?
I must say before, I had this idealistic mindset that everything goes well. Mm-hmm. Everything runs smoothly. But sometimes you may encounter some challenges and you have to know how to adapt to that environment. So that's what I would take away from this experience, that nothing is ideal. Okay. And we have to work with what is available to us and how we're going to best deal with the situation when it comes about.
Okay. So, Anthony, what was your perspective? What was your thought about everything environmental before the hospital, and what is the perspective you have now that you have gotten the experience, the hands-on experience?
Well, I thought environmental would have just been the trees, the grass, But after getting the experience, I realized that it was way more than that. It was a lot more management involved in the environmental sector than it just being cut the street, cut the lawn, make sure the lawn looking nice. You have to make sure everyone is functioning to optimum capacity so that the other staff can function at their optimum capacity to provide the best services for the customers.
Okay, that's great. And Miss Allison, during the introduction video that we just saw, the introductory video we just saw, we would have seen that there's a variety of students. So my question is there was a certain percent of med students or a certain percent of this type of students? Let us get the demographic of the students that were there.
Okay, so let me start by saying, as you would have alluded to, we had well over 500 applicants, and we selected 53. Of course, it's a finite number. We can't accommodate everyone. Yes. So we selected 53, and from that pool, we would have assigned students to various areas in our primary healthcare setting and the 2 secondary healthcare facilities that we have on the island. In so doing, in the selection process, we did not ascribe a set number of places to doctors or nurses. We had, a variety of students applying different areas of study. So we applied, a few criteria to the selection process. One of them being we had, of course, the cutoff point with the numbers. So once we would have selected the students, we placed them throughout our facilities, and we have a wide variety of students with us. We have an architect, we have a vet, we have somebody who's doing speech and language therapy, we have accountants, auditors, IT specialists, not only doctors and nurses. Of course, we have people who are doing medicine, psychology, Shanika wants to do pathology, environmental studies, so it spans almost every academic field. So our selection process was not limited to what students are studying, we applied a different criteria to select our 50, 53, and then place the students.
Okay, that's great. And Shanika, I will have to ask you, well, this is your opportunity right now to big up the people that you would have met, the people you would have networked, because you know that will of work, it gives you that opportunity to network with people, to be your mentors. So this is your opportunity to big them up and just see how they would have impacted your journey.
I must say thank you, Dr. Joseph. There were many doctors I worked alongside, but I will just pinpoint Dr. Joseph, Dr. Charles, and Dr. Nathaniel Duke. Dr. Duke, Dr. Charles, and Dr. Joseph helped me a lot to understand that this field of medicine would have its challenges, but you have to be passionate about it. If you are going there for the monetary benefits, you will not last. There's many to learn. Knowledge is not confined to the classroom. A lot of what you will learn will be on the field. So go there with an open mind, be passionate about it, be serious about it, and understand that it's person's lives we are dealing with. Yes.
Anthony?
I would like to say thank you to Mr. McPhee, Jessica, which is his assistant, and Director McCasey. They all gave me the necessary knowledge and they imparted the leadership qualities that I would most likely use in the future to better myself as a person and to help lead the future citizens of Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, so Miss Allison, tell us a bit about the pictures we're seeing here on the screen.
All right. So every Friday, each Friday of the week, we had the weeks we had the students. We did capacity building and skills training.
Okay.
So we would have removed them from their area of work, and we took them into another setting. So we toured our facilities, the many facilities we had. We exposed them to our track facility, our green room facility up at the fort, the hyperbaric chamber at the Roxborough Hospital, our dialysis services. Right, this is Mr. Hines, as I was mentioning, the hyperbaric services, and this is at Roxborough. We showed them our dialysis units, our oncology unit. This is actually the chamber, so you're getting a live shot. So these are pictures that you are seeing sort of capture those Fridays when we took the students out to get much needed practical experience and exposure.
I think I remember seeing that cluster of purple jerseys in the
Yes,
hospital.
around, yes, certainly.
So, Shanika, were you there at the hyperbaric chamber?
Yes.
So tell us, what was that experience? What was that like for you?
The hyperbaric chamber, I was firstly exposed to it when I first arrived at Roxborough. So I got the experience before a bunch of us.
Okay.
And I remember talking to the nurse here, who was on the picture, and she gave me the opportunity to play. I not play, but operate the chamber. And at first, it is very intimidating.
Yes.
But when she sat there and explained fully what it is, I understood the benefits of this hyperbaric chamber. It's something that I was not aware of, but I see vast potential for it as Tobago develops. And I must say the hyperbaric chamber, it may look all scary, but once you understand it, understand the importance of it and how it benefits patients, especially who have diabetes, if you have bends, like divers, things like that. So it has its benefits, and I must say I enjoyed it thoroughly. It's something that's needed in Tobago, and it's something that even though I love forensic pathology, I'm always looking for new opportunities, and this hyperbaric facility is something that I really do have an interest in and something I'll look into further.
Okay, great. And Anthony, Fridays with the TRH, from the pictures I saw, it looked like every Friday, like it was an excellent way to bring in the weekend. So what were the Fridays with TRH like for you?
The Fridays with TRH, all were eventful, all were impactful. They had no knowledge was wasted. They only gave us things that we would use, things like planning, money management, nutrition, their leadership session specifically. That was a very important one to teach youths to stand up for yourself, speak out, ask questions, be heard. Don't be afraid to be on the forefront. So that's what it was like.
Okay, great. And Miss Allison, what were the Fridays like? Were you there for the Fridays?
Almost every Friday.
So tell me, what was it like for you?
All right. So the Fridays I was able to observe our interns being engaged at another level. And they certainly opened up. Anthony spoke about the leadership session. We had sessions from the business development unit. It was so interesting to see how many entrepreneurs we have in this group. and our business development unit spoke, succinctly to them. They now understand what assistance they can get to go out there and make a mark. We had Director McCasey, who, well, of course, he's one of our board directors, and it was phenomenal to have the input of a board member in our skills and capacity building sessions. So they were phenomenal sessions. Look, you're seeing it right now. Very interactive, fun, educational, and I hope that it really has a lasting impression on the students.
Okay, great. And Ms. Allison, wrapping up, is there anyone you would like to thank at this moment?
Certainly. So I welcome the opportunity to say, firstly, thank you to our board of directors and our chairman, Chrislyn Moore, Director McCasey. He's our Director of Human Resources on our board. I also want to extend gratitude to our CEO, Mr. Garth Alexander, and our General Manager of Human Resources, Suzanne Oliveri-Bola. They were all very intimate with this program, and throughout the 7-8 weeks, they have lent us their support and their leadership and their commitment to making this a success. I also need to say thank you to the team that worked behind the scenes to put all of this together. Now, I am not the team lead here. The team lead, you would have seen her in one of the clips. It is Alicia Davis Guerra. And unfortunately, she cannot be here, hence I am deputizing. So I want to just take a minute to say thank you to all those persons who volunteered their time, their skills, and their services to make this a most memorable and learning experience. So I want to just identify Suan, Simabu from purchasing, Petunia from finance, our administrative help, Jamila, Nadia, Cleo. I hope I'm not forgetting anyone. But I just want to say, for the overwhelming support, we are very thankful.
All right, Ms. Allison. So once again, I want to thank you all for joining us here today. This was a very informative, visual interview. I think it was fun. I actually really enjoyed it. So viewers, that was the TRHA Summer Internship Program. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. So just remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your nice can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. If sickness catch you off guard. I tell them never ever worry. If times fall on you real hard. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Summerama, real steam for the summer at standard. Is a dream for the summer. Dreamy, steamy, standard. What you have? All the best deals, no drama. Standard be beat like a hammer. Go tell your friend, tell your papa, tell your mama. We got more. Standards are what you're searching for. Quality brand, discounts galore. New things for the summer, online in store. Summertime is here, so make the most out of it at Standard. Never beaten on quality and price. It's nice.
Are you flood ready? Review and update insurance coverage. Install floodgates and barriers. Create a family flood plan. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. TATIL, where people are people.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and despite the rainy weather, we're still kicking things off here at the Youth Show. So now we will be chatting with NESC, the Technical Institute. So good morning, good morning. Can you hear me?
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear. Good morning, and how are you doing this morning?
I am doing fine in this lovely weather this morning.
Yes. So, can you introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your role at NESC?
Okay, no problem. Good morning to the entire population of Trinidad and Tobago. My name is Kemba Dupree, and I am the Student Affairs Officer of the Tobago campus at the NESC Technical Institute.
Okay, Miss Dupree. So, tell us a bit more about the Tobago campus.
Could you just repeat that for me?
You're breaking up a bit. Can you repeat? Okay,
Yes.
so tell
Could
us a
you
bit
repeat?
more about the Tobago campus at NESC.
Okay, so the NESC Technical Institute is a non-profit organization, and we cater for persons who want to get into the manufacturing, the energy, and the industrial sector. So that means we teach technical, vocational skills training programs. And in Tobago, we have 5 diploma programs available at present.
All right,
All
great.
right,
So you would
so
have mentioned diploma programs. Is it that these programs are probably gate funded or?
yes, it's definitely gate funded. And just to name those 5 programs, it's automotive services, electrician, welder, IT, network specialist, and refrigeration and air condition. Those are our 5 diploma programs that are available in Tobago, and it's gate funded.
Okay, amazing. So for someone that's interested in, getting enrolled in this diploma program, how do they go about sending in an application?
Okay, so the process for submitting your application could be done in a number of ways. So if anybody is interested in registering for our programs, you can either come into the campus physically, and we are located in Cow Farm Road, Goldsboro. So you could visit us at the campus between the hours of 7 to 4. Additionally, you can register online. Our website is www.nesc.edu.tt, and you could submit an online registration. Additionally, what we have been doing over the course of 2 months, about 2 months now, we have been very active visiting different locations throughout Trinidad and Tobago. So you would see me out. Like today, I'm supposed to be at City Foods. So if anybody is on City Foods, you can come on down and I would register you on spot. Additionally, we have a drop box at the Port Mall as well.
Okay, great. And Ms. Dupree, in Trinidad and Tobago, this societal norm is to, go to school, get a bunch of subjects, work in a government office until, you collect your pension. But the beauty about NESC is that it is an opportunity for youths and people at large to capitalize on that vocational skills. So what are some of the benefits someone can get from enrolling at NESC?
Okay, so some of the benefits are you can become self-sufficient. All right. So apart from seeking employment at a company, you have this skill, all right, that you have learned. You can now market yourself as a skilled person and create your own jobs. You can also demand a certain level of pay because now you can show that you are certified. You didn't just get a level 1 or a level 2 certificate. You have a level 3 diploma certificate. So employers or persons who contract you to do private jobs for them, they cannot pay you under a certain amount of money.
Okay,
All right,
Ms.
and
Dupree.
as you know,
Some of these success stories, I have to ask about some of the people who have passed through NESC. What is life like for them now that they have that certification?
right. So many of our students are self-sufficient. They have their own businesses, regardless of if they are working in the government or the THA. They have their own businesses. I know of many automotive technicians who are employed with companies, and they also have their own businesses. All right. I know of welders who work at the quarry. All right, they also have their own businesses as well. So the diploma affords you that type of flexibility.
Okay, Ms. Dupree. And in the youth space, you will hear that a lot of young people, they will always cry that, I need a second source of income. They need the money. And
Right,
and
definitely.
little do they know that if they can just capitalize on their trade skills, get that hands-on experience,
Yes.
they can get that extra source of money. So from a financial perspective, can you just tell our viewers and our listeners, why again is the NCSC diploma program the way to go?
All right. Well, just to reiterate, right? At the NESC, our programs are broken down into theory and practical. All right. So you're getting the science behind the skills, right? But you're also getting a real world simulation. All right. At our workshops, you're getting to practice your skill. And apart from that, we also have an on-the-job training program. So when you finish or you complete your diploma at the campus, we place you in a company where you can literally train in the world of work, as we like to say, for about 9-10 months. When you complete that training, we give you a journeyman certificate. And then you go on to receive your trades professional certificate from the Red Deer College of Alberta, Canada. So from coming to do one diploma with us, you're getting 3 types of qualifications. And the third qualification comes directly from Canada. Now we all know that Canada has needs skilled workers. We always see the ads for Canada needing welders, automotive technicians, and engineers, and these type of skilled persons. And what I want to tell you youths today, you don't have to go to Canada just to pick apples. All right? You can go as a skilled person and you can come to NESC to get that qualification so that when you go out there in the international forum, you would be getting a certain level of pay and you would be able to, just basically live the type of life you wanted because now you are skilled and you'll be getting a certain type of salary.
Okay, that's
All
great.
right?
So I really hope the young people that are tuning in on the live or watching the rerun that they're gonna take away that piece of information with them. So Miss Dupree, in terms
Yes.
of your locations once again and your resources, if you have Facebook pages, contact numbers, how can people reach out to the NESE Tobago campus?
All right, so you can contact the NESC Goldsboro campus by calling 660-6925. Again, that's 660-6925. Additionally, you can contact me, Ms. Dupree, at 731-9485. We are also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. So you can reach out to us on all 4 of those forums as well. What I also want to say before I go is that our registration is closing on the 25th of August. However, the 25th is our late registration. So if you want to get into one of our diploma programs, please try to sign up as soon as possible because there are some steps that you would have to get through, and there is a certain we have to accept you. But before we get to the acceptance and then registration stage, we have to conduct an interview, a diagnostic test, and you of course have to bring in documentation. So that takes time. So for the students or the graduates who are awaiting results, which I think CSEC result is coming out on the 24th of this month, do not wait for the results coming. We have special provisions for you, even though you have not received your subjects as yet. We have special provisions for you through our interview and diagnostic test. So come on and don't be left behind, because even if you want to go to university, it is still a great marketing move for yourself to get a diploma in a skilled area before you go on to higher levels of education.
All right, Ms. Dupree. And wrapping up, is there anyone you would like to thank at this moment that would have assisted you throughout this entire journey?
Yes, well, I would like to thank Miss Fisher Harry. She has been assisting me with the recruitment. She couldn't make it this morning, so I want to thank her. I also want to thank the members of my campus who have been, or my colleagues at the campus who have been supporting me throughout the recruitment. And I want to say thanks to the Almighty God for keeping me safe throughout this entire recruitment period. All right, so, and thank you guys as well for having us this morning.
It was a pleasure, Ms. Dupree. So thank you once again for joining us here on the Tobago Updates Youth Morning Show, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. So viewers, that was Ms. Dupree, the NESC Tobago campus. Now, sadly, we have reached the end of our youth show. So I want to thank everyone that would have joined us this morning. And it was a really, really amazing and informative segment back to back to back. See you guys next week. And remember to share the live, share the live, share the live. We're going to head over to Good Morning Tobago with the dynamic Candice Jackson.
The Lake-Etoile folktales and superstitions has always been a major highlight of the Tobago Heritage Festival. Despite the rains, many came out in their numbers to witness the retelling of our cultural traditions. This year's presentation, titled The Duke of Lake-Etoile, Crave All, Lose All, was presented by the Lake-Etoile Close Connection Cultural Club.
A sword in my hand, help me to use it now. I have a sword in my hand, help me to use it now. I'm going away to watch and pray.
I'm really enjoying this show. It really brings back the feeling of the community. It is a good cultural show. I brought some friends here who's also experiencing it for the first time, and they're having a spectacular time.
I would say that I am definitely enjoying the production tonight. You have a little bit of drama, you have the we twang. So it is really interesting, and it kind of like reminds us of how things used to be a long time, because I could tell you, I remember getting my cocktail as well back then, right? So it is really nice, and I think we should definitely continue with this.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Summerama, real steam for the summer at standard. Is a dream for the summer. Dreamy, steamy, standard. All the best deals, no drama. Standard be beat like a hammer. Go tell your friend, tell your papa, tell your mama. We got more, we got more. Standards of what is searching for. Quality brand, discounts galore. New things for the summer, online in store. Summertime is here, so make the most out of it at Standard. Never beaten on quality and price. Ignite.
From the experts that created the Zinger sandwich comes the KFC Crispy Barbecue Zinger.
The only one I see is you.
Cheddar cheese, crispy onions, the most delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken, and barbecue sauce. Get ready for a whole new level of flavor.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago.
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad, and the region. With the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine, I am Candace Jackson, and let's get started with the news in 90 seconds.
The news in 90 seconds is brought to you by Flow, working for you on Tobago's newest fiber network.
Political leader of the Tobago Council of the PNM, Ansel Dennis, warned Chief Secretary Fali Augustin and the membership of the TPP that they are not above the law. Speaking on the Minority Report last night, Dennis addressed some of the statements made at the TPP launch on Sunday. He criticized Augustin's remarks about the action sanctioned by the Commissioner of Police, stating that if Augustin were innocent, he would not be the subject of a police investigation. Meanwhile, Dennis is expected to host a press conference at 2 p.m. today to present evidence of alleged political victimization in the THA. Meanwhile, the Scarborough's urban redevelopment final report has been greenlit for public review. Initiated by the Tobago House of Assembly, the project envisions a modern city in Scarborough offering civic and tourism facilities. J Metrics Limited was tasked to enhance the conceptual plan following public consultations. To ensure feasibility, the report encompasses market analysis, coastal engineering, port and urban design, and historical factors. Infrastructure Secretary Trevor James lauds the team's dedication and incorporation of public input, especially regarding environmental concerns. The next consultation phase is anticipated, with foreign governments even expressing interest in some of the aspects. And finally, the local government election saw a 30% voter turnout, as reported by the EBC. Preliminary results were unveiled last evening, indicating that the UNC secured the popular vote, receiving more than 173,000 ballots. Collaborating with the NTA, they gathered nearly 16,000 votes, totaling over 190,000. The PNM obtained just over 130,000 votes, whereas the PDP gained 1,287 votes, and the Unity of the People secured 110 votes. And that concludes your news in 90 seconds.
The news in 90 seconds is brought to you by Flow, working for you on Tobago's newest fiber network.
Tobago, after freeness is more speed and better TV. Get a free Samsung smartphone and free installation, plus 200 megabits per second, Paramount Plus, and more for only $299 with a select 200 plan from Flow. Visit online at discoverflow.co today.
All right, and welcome back to the Good Morning Tobago viewers. And this morning we are being joined by Pastor Terrence Baines. He's an assemblyman. He is also the Secretary of Community Development, Youth Development, and Sports. And what is your role now in the TPP?
I am a member of the Tobago People's Party, thankfully. So
Yes.
that's the capacity in which I am here this morning.
Of course, and naturally this morning we are talking about the launch of the TPP. So, as you mentioned that you're just a member, when I'm going to start off by asking, when are we going to see a formation of the executive of the party and so on?
Well, that obviously is a priority matter, as the Chief Secretary announced on Sunday. While we don't have an exact date yet, but it certainly is a frontline issue, as can be expected. We were, excuse me, planning and focusing on the launch, and we knew that the launch would have implications for those persons that subscribe to the new movement, and also that will inform the formal organization of the party. So we are well on the way to getting that done.
And after Sunday's launch,
Mhm.
what is your feeling right now? I mean, after seeing what took place and the support that came out.
Well, I mean, all of us so excited. There was a kind of euphoria in the moment, and why in the midst of all the excitement, we understand the awesomeness of the responsibility. The persons that came out also signaled a kind of importance of the organization and the formation of the organization at this point, and even kind of puts us in a place to begin to work more, that the issues of efficiency and all those things have to come to the fore. The desires of the people, the mandate, and those things that we've been talking about overall, about Tobago becoming this space that is envied across the region and perhaps the world. So these matters are of paramount importance to all of us at this particular point in time.
Tell me a bit about the strategy of choosing Sunday for the launch.
Yes. Well, we've been planning and toying with the different days and all of that, and while one may not be able to see that, we sat down in a kind of engine room and say, okay, the day after is local government election, so let's plan it this day and so on. But I think that Sunday was the ideal day. Everything was in place and so on. And we felt there would be some shock value, if you will, on having it on that day. And I think it just worked out. It just worked out well for all and sundry, and so we are very, very glad that it worked out that way.
Now, one of the complaints about the present administration, even under the PDP when you guys took office, is that the communication issue.
Yes.
You didn't come out to the people in the same way or anywhere near to how you guys did when you were campaigning. And will we see something different? Will we see an improvement in the communication and the connection with the people on the ground?
Well, certainly, as we continue to grow and do this business, we look at the areas of deficiency. As you can appreciate, we have been under the gun since we started, both internally and externally from various forces. And we listen, we assess the things that people are saying. And as any good government, you would want to take on board those things that are important to you, better carrying out the functions that you are supposed to carry out. So, of course, the communication is a concern for us, and all of us have agreed that we look back and say, we could have done this better, we could have communicated this better, and so on. So that is also a matter of priority for us, and we are working assiduously to try and treat with that matter.
And then when it comes to financing, because that was brought up by several political analysts and so on within the space, looking on, how are you guys treating with the financing of the party to avoid, using state funds or colluding with state funds? What?
Yeah, well, there are some topics that are very juicy for ventilation, coming off the backs of the whole audio gate and all that kind of stuff. So far, we have been fortunate to have persons dedicate and their time and resource to what we have done so far. People have come on board and have made sacrifices and so on. And I believe that is something that would continue because there is a buy-in to what we're trying to do. I think our challenge, if any, will be, and just as you said a while ago, is to communicate what we are really trying to do philosophically as an organization, and try to get where we are trying to go, because the prime target, our goal is autonomy for Tobago. That is our goal with all that is happening. And I think perhaps a significant percentage of the population do not have an appreciation for what this autonomy business means. And so we'll have to continue to share that in more layman's terms so that the actual people at the grassroots can understand what it is we're trying to accomplish with this. And therefore, we will have a greater sense of buy-in. And once you have buy-in, people will come to the fore to assist with what you're trying to do, because there are people that may have the resources, both cash and kind, that you will need to execute what you executed. And so I think that way we will be able to get done what we're trying to get done.
Already, you guys have attracted some criticism from the PNM in Tobago and so on, trying to link the party to the UNC. And then we heard from the stage on Sunday, using some of the statements that were used on the UNC platform. So, could you shed some light as to what's going on there?
Well, I think the Tobago PNM and the PNM in general will stay true to form. You understand? They've been in opposition before. This particular state for the Tobago PNM is one that, to me, is a place of desperation. And they will use any and everything that is at their disposal to try and bring down the administration. And they will do what they have to do. You understand? I understand them. But we will continue to forge ahead as it relates to how we choose to communicate and stuff. There are some things in a political meeting that are good for they're part of the cut and thrust of the message. Let me put it that way. You understand?
In other words, such like the audio gate situation.
No, I'm saying there are some you mentioned about statements that may have been attributed to the leader of the UNC in Trinidad. I'm saying that anybody can pick a statement if it enhances the message you're trying to bring out. You understand what I'm saying? All of us use words and phrases. That does not mean that we are definitely aligned or connected to the person who may have made them. You understand? It's just that the phrase may be relevant to your situation at the time. But we understand that jungling men will grab at straws, and they will do what they have to do, and they should, we should allow them the right to do that. You understand what I'm saying? But our responsibility is to focus on where we are going. We must keep our heads down because, as you can appreciate, we have been faced with several shocks, and at this point we give thanks to God always. We are convinced that we are where we are because God would have it so. And so, we do our, and we trust Him to assist us in those matters that are beyond us.
Now, there was a very clear messaging of a declaration of war coming from the launch on Sunday.
Yes.
And we saw last evening, there was this video circulating, this audio, I should say, circulating, sort of from the whistleblower, sort of trying to discredit what the Chief Secretary stated in the House.
Yes.
Would I be able to get a response from you for that?
Well, I heard this audio thing about some 2 weeks ago. In fact, this audio surfaced maybe a day or two after the Chief Secretary's revelation in the House. It has been edited from the original version. That I know because of what I heard first. But it speaks to the credibility of the man. If you check the string of events. So here it is, a man comes to the fore and says that he recorded this matter, right? Before we were thinking as individuals, there was some breach internally, you understand, and somebody, a part of the internal team, maliciously recorded this thing for some purpose. The way the thing came to the fore and so on, you saw what happened and so on, what the Chief Secretary and the team recorded and put out and so on. This man comes and says, this is something that was recorded in a party executive meeting and so on. And he held that information because he was upset and bitter and intended to use it going forward. So it comes now, we are told that he took the information, and wherever he took the information, a police investigation began and so on, and we saw that saga. We saw the amazing flaws and discrepancies in the warrants, and people going to search people that does not even fall within the ages of the things that they say that they're looking for. We saw police going up to the Division of Health looking for Zorisha Hackett. You understand? It is maddening, some of the things that we saw going on. We also saw that the chief secretary's video of this so-called whistleblower that is released and so on, and the very day after some of the principals that are part of the audio comes out publicly and say that they don't know this man and never had any interaction and so on. The prime minister especially, one day he said he didn't know the man, then the day after says the man was a police witness. And you ask yourself some question. If the prime minister is the chairman of the Security Council, not so? So you will think a matter that is pertinent that you must know. You understand? But anyway, so you have that. You have that happen. So the issue now with this audio tape is that it just goes back and forth, and you don't know, surely in the average mind, that this man cannot be a credible witness. He cannot be a credible. And I will tell you now, Candice, that I heard up to last night another statement which he made. You understand? Statement. Yes, he made another statement, and I'm sure that will be ventilated in the public in the ensuing days. So it gets more maddening. The point is that all this craziness that is taking place, that we as a team, we have to continue on the path that we are going. You understand?
But in a situation like this, where there seems to be conflicting statements coming out, then it even calls into question the credibility of what was presented in the House from the missing whistleblower.
Well, the thing is, we don't know what to believe now, because at one point you go to the police, you say, and you give the police a statement. You go to the chief secretary, and you say that God spoke to you. This is the thing, you know. I don't know if you remember, he said that God spoke to him. That is why he has come to the chief secretary to recant those things. When a man gone by God, when he gone by God, this is not Terrence Baines or whatever. When you're gone by God, that takes it into a different dimension. So to say no in this new audio tape that the chief secretary sent goons to harass and those kind of things, it is maddening. It is maddening. And I know that no way he could be a credible witness. So we don't know what to believe.
So what is the steps that you all are taking now to treat for this matter? Because it affects, it affects the entire executive council and so on. How are you guys going forth to maintain your credibility amongst the people here in Tobago?
Well, I think the only way for us to maintain our credibility is for us to continue doing the work that we've been elected to do, and so on. We'll continue to work on building the organization. We have to keep focused, because these things are designed to distract you. You understand? And it is, and I notice even in the edited version, right? The edited version, how there was an attempt to tag the UNC to the edited version and so on, right? The original version had no UNC trappings in it, none. You understand? So it is a political game. Everything that has been done is done to try and put something in the public's place to bring and disdain upon the present executive. And so any assistance from anywhere that those that are responsible for this mischief, anything that they can get to try and discredit and try to bring down the organization, they are going to use it. You understand? We have never seen anything like this before in the political landscape in Tobago. I can't even think if we've seen that in the national space. Something has to be at stake here. And I still believe, as the chief secretary keeps saying, this matter of the audit has implications for some people. It is a life and death matter for them. And they will do everything in their power to try and prevent it from being ventilated the way it should. And from some people having to face the court. You understand? And so even some of the people that are talking now, you understand, presided over some of the things that has happened and found themselves in the audit. And time will tell you know, and everybody will have their day in the sun to face the music.
And as we're getting ready to wrap up, the PNM, the Tobago Concert PNM is going to have a press conference later this afternoon claiming political victimization. Any words before that?
Well, I mean, the PNM will know about political victimization more than anybody on the planet. You understand? So none of these things move me, none of these things move us. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I think it's just a part of their strategy as they sink into their cesspool of errors and whatever else they try to find to bring down the administration. They will continue. And like I say, they have the right so to do. If they want to wallow in this mess of inaccuracies and suggestions and innuendos and so on, we must allow them to exercise that right. They are a bunch of defeated people. Let them go ahead and operate in their defeat. What we have to do as an administration, though, we have been elected. We have a responsibility. We have a duty to the people of Tobago, and we will continue to do that. We will leave those matters up to the minds of the people to come to conclusions about what they hear, and they will decide going forward.
All right, I want to thank you so much, Pastor Bates, for being on with us. And we're certainly looking forward to see how what happens with the party, how it grows, and what's the happen as we turn up the heat here in Tobago.
I like that.
All right, viewers, don't go anywhere. We got a lot more coming up for you after the break.
The energy fill the skies. I say, thanks for
Cafe, a buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors. Garden salads. All this accompanied by fruit. Your choice of your taste buds. So call us today to order. We are here to accommodate your busy schedules. You are having a cooking day off.
Yes, be careful.
I feel I'm going to start to cook, yes, because these children.
These plums.
Hey, Richard, hey, come from there, come from there.
What's going on in here?
Oh God, I should have buy exhibition, boy.
What would you do if this happened to you? Dial 990 in case of fire emergencies and always have a serviceable fire extinguisher ready and available at all times.
Tapicom. Welcome to the future. The only card you will need in a new world. Digital business cards. Safe, hassle-free. The future is here. Tapicom. New generation digital transfer. Digital time clock cards. Digital attendance cards. Air tags. Customized designs. Digital clothing tags. Digital pet tags. Tapicom. The future is here. Contact us today.
The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candace and Denise.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Viewers, we are being joined now by Miss Petula Jack, founder and lead facilitator of the Institute of Academic Support as we talk about their new term coming up. So good morning and welcome to you. How are you?
Hi, good morning, Candice. I'm fine, thank you.
All right, great. So first of all, let's just get into what is this, the Institute of Academic Support.
The Institute of Academic Support is a registered business. It was registered in 2021. We host CSEC classes, CAPE classes, and soon we'll be hosting professional development courses as well. I am a teacher. I've been teaching for over a decade under the name of Patient Petula and Petula CSEC classes. But as of 2021, I registered the business. And in addition to the 3 subjects that I tutor in, which are social studies, POB, and office administration, I would have expanded to include other subjects as well. So now we go under the name of the Institute of Academic Support, tagline, Ignite Your Mind.
And tell me about that change and just moving in that direction.
It was a really nice one. I am proud of the growth of the organization so far. I did not envision it. Honestly, I was satisfied with doing the 3 subjects that I love and passionate about teaching. But due to the success rate and the call for the additional subjects by the students as well as their parents, I decided to transition, and other like-minded teachers are now on board who share and buy into the philosophy of the Institute of Academic Support. So we are now offering much more than the 3 subjects that I started with way back in about 2010.
So you're now moving from just offering CSEC as well to CAPE. And tell me about that transition.
It's a good one as well. Last year when I was here, I would have spoken to Ria and I told her that of this year, we would want to launch out into a CAPE subject. So as of today, we now offer CAPE Communication Studies. And that was born out of a conversation in a trip that I would have had last year in St. Lucia. And because of the networking and the connection, I now have on board Miss Janique Alfred, who teaches communication studies at St. Lucia as well. So at IES, we not only have local tutors, some of our teachers are from Tobago, some are from Trinidad, and we also have teachers in the Caribbean. So we have Janique from St. Lucia, and we also have math being done by Deshaun, who is from Grenada. So we give that entire Caribbean perspective at the Institute of Academic Support. You can almost feel as if you are doing CSEC and CAPE and having that university type experience, having teachers as well as students from across the Caribbean as well.
And I want you to elaborate a little bit more on that point, because I really like that, the idea of just being able to connect with our Caribbean brothers and sisters. Tell me a bit about the philosophy behind that.
The philosophy for me, education is not just passing an exam. So the cultural infusion, I believe, is beneficial to the students as well. So they are able to learn not just from the experiences of teachers right here from Trinidad and Tobago, but from persons from other Caribbean islands as well. As you know, CSEC is done in about 16 Caribbean countries and CAPE. So the more you relate to, communicate to, and dialogue with persons across the Caribbean, to me, it's a win-win situation for the students.
And your classes take place virtually,
yes,
as opposed to physically. Are there any challenges that are faced with that? How has that been working for you?
It's working pretty good. I have started doing the CSEC classes online as of 2019, actually before COVID, when the world adapted to full online learning.
So you were ahead of the game.
I was ahead of the game. I launched it as a pilot project. Reason being, I was in demand. So I started in Charlottesville and Speyside and Betsy Overs. I'm from Charlottesville. And persons from the western end of Tobago began reaching out to me. And because I could not be in every place at the same time, I decided to start the virtual learning. And it has been good so far. And if you recognize as well, there are courses done all over the world online as well. So from CSET level, certificate level, right up to PhD, courses are done online. So that's the direction the world is going. and I am going to keep doing it as well.
And what about the success level?
The success level is great, Candice, and that is why I have been the #1 person to look at in Tobago space, the Trinidad and Tobago space, as it relates to the success stories that we would have gained so far. Normally in January, we'll have a few persons writing the exam. We'll have the majority of persons writing the exam for the May, June, because that's the norm, and the success rate is wonderful. I've had great passes. Recently, 2 of my students in 2 Tobago schools I could recall in the area of POB would have copped the award as the best student in Speyside High as well as Scarborough Secondary. So I know that I'm doing something pretty good.
Well, congratulations
Thank
on that.
you,
And
thank
certainly for
you.
those students as well for being
Yes.
committed. But and talk about the growth you've seen in some students that have come into your classes, and what's that journey been like?
The journey has been rewarding. What I do at the Institute of Academic Support is empower students holistically. So we have other classes, we have guidance counselors, we have other sessions to prepare them for the world of work. And because of what I do in the day as well, it augurs well for what I do in the evening. So I'm really involved in youth development. That is my passion. And I tend to bridge what I do in the day and what I do at the Institute of Academic Support. So even from the parent perspective, we have a parent forum to ensure that we communicate with the parents as well, because as you know, learning, it's important for the students to learn, yes, but the environment in which they are from, the home situation, is important as well. So we keep the parents engaged with our parenting forums to ensure that they are well equipped to deal with some of the struggles, some of the problems that young people would give.
Now, are your classes only for high school students, or are you open to adults?
I am open to adults as well. I will say to my adults, welcome aboard. Sometimes the past may be hard, but you can always start again. So the classes, basically, they are for anyone interested in writing a CSEC exam. You can come aboard. The class is a great mix. And because of that, the infusion of the adults as well as the school students, the experience that the adults will give, because most of them are already in the working field or the working world, and the youthful exuberance from the young people, it really leads to great discussions in the classroom environment. So it's a win-win situation, and they learn from each other.
You know, when you look at our education system here in Trinidad and Tobago, one of the things that comes out is that, you know, we teach our students to regurgitate material. We don't teach them critical thinking. Do you do anything differently to, you know, invigorate the minds of our students, so that we're not just regurgitating information?
The tagline at IAS is ignite your mind, right? So you know that is my forte. Yes, as I said before, we do not only teach students to pass an exam, we prepare them for life. And part of preparing students for life is to engage them in problem solving and critical thinking. So sometimes, to break the monotony in my classes, I would invite persons who are professionals like yourself to give that real life experience. So we may be doing a topic, for example, on legal aspects of a business. Instead of me just teaching legal aspects of a business from the POB syllabus, I will bring in a lawyer. I have lawyers like Josanne Hackett, Delicia Koshi, Avian Thomas. They are always on call and willing to support and give that real and true life experience, because they are directly working in the field.
And do you think that contributes to the success rate that you're seeing in your students?
It does. It contributes to the success rate, and it opens up as well some of the different professions and fields available, so that the young people can also pattern and go into those routes.
And then how can people get in touch with you? How can they be a part of this?
You can be a part of the Institute of Academic Support by simply calling or messaging us at 1-868-729-7567 or 1-868-394-3236. We are also on all social media platforms, 3 so far actually: TikTok, Facebook, as well as Instagram at the Institute of Academic Support.
And then what about the future of the Institute of Academic Support? What are you seeing coming soon?
Coming soon, where we continue to engage our Caribbean brothers and sisters. Recently, we were in Guyana, networking and promoting the Institute. Very soon, we will be in St. Vincent, as well as Grenada, continuing to expand and broaden our scope and our horizons, and really networking with other Caribbean teachers, because we want to ensure that what we do at the Institute is synonymous to what is done in those Caribbean countries as well. As you know, Guyana, as of last year, 2022, they got the highest award for overall performance in CSEC with a young lady copying 25 ones, right? So we continue to network in those countries as well. Additionally, we want to add some more subjects to the listing. Currently, we have 10 CSEC courses or classes, 2 lower level classes in Maths and English geared to persons entering third form in September. And we now have 2 CAPE courses in the form of entrepreneurship and communication studies. So we want to continue to roll out these classes to include much more than what we offer now. And because we are also concerned with professional development of our young people, we want to also partner with like-minded institutions, not only on the island, but also in the Caribbean islands as well.
That's such wonderful things to hear. And, you know, I'm going to give, as we get ready to wrap up, I'm going to give you just a minute to just speak to the people out there as to why they should encourage their students to come in, or even the adults that need to, you know, get their certifications. You know, how can they get involved?
Right, you can get involved by reaching out to us, as we say, as I said before, any of our social media platforms, TikTok, Facebook, or Instagram. You can reach out to me by calling or messaging 1-868-729-7567 or 394-3236. We have already started 3 of the subjects: POB, Social Studies, and Office Administration. The other subjects will begin on the 4th of September, and we are willing and able to bring everyone aboard. Our success rate is great. We have qualified, competent, and experienced teachers who are not only from Trinidad and Tobago, but throughout the Caribbean. So you know our class will be culturally rich, and the experience will be very rewarding. So you need to get on board. Get registered today.
All right, and that's a perfect way to wrap up this conversation. But thank you, Ms. Petula Jack, for being on with us and for sharing these amazing things that are happening with your institute. And I certainly hope that more people get involved as we try to bolster our education system here in the country.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, viewers, so we got a lot more coming up for you after the break on GMT, so please don't go anywhere.
This is
the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear my neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We have beauty, we have power.
Best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place, with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
Fan emergency, good afternoon. You said the building is on fire. Are there any persons trapped? 4 persons. What is the address of the call, ma'am? Number 4, Candy Drive, Pier Road. Can I have your name, please? Miss Bihari? Thank you, Miss Bihari. I'll be dispatching an appliance. Central control from fire control.
Go ahead, fire control. Central control is receiving over.
Central control, have a plans and crew. Respond to our residential fire. Same is at number 4, Kakandi Drive, Pero Chibonas. 4 persons are trapped, 2 adults, 2 children. They were unable to make contact with fire service, so she called on their behalf.
Transmission received loud and clear. Operator at Central Control 3462. Firefighter Wiley, Central Control.
Create an evacuation plan for you and your family and practice your escape. Always ensure you have more than one way to safely exit your home. Your lives may depend on it.
Yeah. Hey.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candace and Denasia.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, viewers. Now we are switching our conversations now to Tuco. The trend Tuco. So we have the Tuco elections coming up pretty soon, and it's been led over the past couple of years by Mr. Ainsley King, our very own Tobago-born Mr. Ainsley King. But on Sunday they are going to be having their national executive elections. So joining us online to speak a little bit about that, we have Dr. Rudolph Utley, and he is a candidate for president of Tuco. Good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning, and thanks for having me on your program this morning. And just to correct you, the elections are on Saturday, the 19th, and not Sunday.
All right. So give me an idea of, just some of your intentions going forward in these elections.
Well, first of all, I want to tell my colleagues in Tobago that I'm also from Tobago. My father was born on Otley Street in Mount St. George, so that I have my roots in Tobago, and therefore I'm just trying to get back to the point whereby I can reinstate and also make the Tobago zone of Tuco a more vibrant, a more involved part of the Tuco family. So that's one of my main goals, to bring back Tuco Tobago into the mainstream of activities. Because of the information I've received is that over the past 2 years, the Tuco zone has been almost dormant. There's been no activities, a lot of infighting, misrepresentation, and therefore, once I'm given the opportunity to lead, that will be my major focus in the first couple of weeks of my administration.
And when you look at just the calypso industry and so on, what do you envision for it? Like, what do you think it should look like? Because, we get the complaints that, calypso is kind of like a dying art. And I mean, it's losing interest among the population, unfortunately. But, what is your vision? Like, how do you plan to get it back to its glory days?
And you're quite correct in that assessment, and that's because there's lack of leadership in the organization. I think since the demise of since the demise of Lutalo Musimba, we have been leaderless, and therefore, when the society recognizes that the organization is clueless or leaderless, then they pay little or no attention to what is happening, and therefore, we have to bring it back to the point whereby calypso becomes part of the mainstream of our culture. It is the first music of the New World, and therefore we must treat it as such. And to do that, we must update our systems. First of all, we must ensure that the administration of the art form becomes digitized, become modernized, and is part of the tech world. We must have apps to promote our programs. We must visualize the calypso tent in a different format. We must ensure our calypsonians are competent in the computer world. They use the modern systems to do their productions. We must ensure that the information of calypso is sent differently to the public. We can't rely only on a seasonal product, so that throughout the year we must be involved in the social activities and even the political activities in a way, taking part in the society. So TUCO must become more involved. And to do that, we must ensure our membership is up to date technically and otherwise.
Now, as you mentioned the Calypso tents, I know that was something that, the generations before held so dear to Calypso, especially leading up to Carnival time. But that in itself, we're losing that bit from our culture. How can we, in this modern age, re-envision the Calypso tent to fit the new generations and to make sure the art form stays alive?
Well, you're quite correct, but we must also recognize and contextualize why that shift from the Calypso tent. In the up to maybe 1999, there were less activities around Carnival. But from the 21st century, you find that people are more engaged in other kinds of Carnival-related activities, and obviously the Calypso tent or the traditional arts of Carnival would have lost some of its support. Be that as it may, we have not taken an aggressive approach to modernizing the Calypso tents. And it has a lot to do with what I call the NCC Act of 1998 that authorizes TUCO to be responsible for Calypso tents. TUCO has embraced that, but in a very negative way, whereby TUCO focuses only on tents under its umbrella. And by creating that atmosphere, what TUCO has done basically is to provide a lot of employment for Calypsonians, but not necessarily Calypsonians who are deserving of such. In other words, once you're a member of TUCO, there's a sense that one has the right to be in the Calypso tents. And we have watered down the product of the Calypso tents. We have people who should not be in a Calypso tent, given what they produce. But we do not analyze it, and therefore we have taken the body of Calypso and added a lot of water into it, and therefore we have produced a very watered down product. And as a result, people are not interested in coming to the tents because what they have to do is to wait for 3.5 hours to hear 1 or 2 good Calypsos. In other words, there's no competition amongst the Calypsonians to be selected to the tents. And that is one of the major problems facing the tents. We need to produce Calypso tents and Calypso shows whereby there has been a rigid selection process. When you are selected, you're selected on meritocracy rather than on friendship and cliquism or family. Those variables should not be part of the selection process for one's membership in the Calypso tent. And TUCO has embraced that policy. And that, in my view, is something that we must deal with if we are going to modernize the tent. We also have to deal with the whole digitization of the Calypso tents, whereby, again, we can have the product alive, and not only streaming, but you can have a TUCO app where you have the tents, and you can, whilst you're driving or on an all-inclusive party, you can watch the show taking place. So we have to get the tents into the modern era of what is taking place in entertainment.
And then what about even the archive of the Calypsos that have gone before? Because, I mean, we have such a rich collection of songs that that describe all of the events in our history in such beautiful ways. But those things are being lost every year, and especially after a Calypsonian passes on, those are lost. How do we ensure that we keep those little treasures for the future generations?
Well, I wouldn't agree with you in the fact that to say that they are lost. They're not lost. They are just not packaged properly, or they are not stored for the public's benefit. In other words, we have collectors throughout the world, and in Trinidad, for example, like Zeno Constant, the former Sprangalang, myself, and others. We have the information. What we need to do at TUCO is to develop a formalized administrative research and developmental program whereby the information, all those calypsos you talk about, we need to preserve them and make them available to the public in a very professional way. In other words, we have a crime situation in Trinidad and Tobago, and over the years, Calypsonians have presented theories, philosophies, solutions, ideas how to deal with crime and criminality in the country. We have not done anything about that. And therefore, what is critical is that we must form an alliance with the Ministry of Education. I understand there's an MOU already with the Ministry of Education, but to take it a step further to ensure social studies and the calypso literature becomes part of this educational system, especially geared towards the primary schools and secondary schools.
And then
We
what
have,
about?
we
Go ahead, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead. No, I'm saying we have the treasures there, we have the information there through the calypsos, but we have not used that. We have not been able to formalize an avenue where it could be projected and utilized to the benefit of the society. And the only way to do that is through collaboration with the Ministry of Education.
And what about getting calypso on the radio? Because we've heard that argument so many times over the years. I mean, we only hear calypso in the calypso tent or on the stage for Calypso Monarch. You know, how can we get it into the mainstream in the same way that soca is or chutney is?
Again, it has to do with a societal mindset. In this way, we really cannot blame Tuco and the Calypsonian. It has to do with the people responsible for marketing, in their marketing on their radio stations, the business community who feels that their target audience may not like Calypso, and therefore they don't play Calypso. They prefer to play R&B. And therefore, what we have to recognize as a society, that if we do not appreciate our own, then no one else will. And therefore, the business community has a major responsibility to play to ensure that Calypso is part of the mainstream of our music. But how do we get that? When most of the business community and radio station owners are foreign-oriented. And again, they only see Calypso as part of the cannabis scenario. Even soca, you may play more soca, yes, but even soca, if you listen to any of the mainstream radio stations today, if you hear 2 soca selections, you're lucky. And they will probably play the popular ones out of Carnival. So this is the societal mindset we have to deal with. It's more than just Tuco. But one of the strategies we will try to employ is to own our own radio station. You know, not the basic, we may have an online station, which is good, but in our society, the traditional type of radio stations are still what people are geared to listening to. Mm-hmm. And therefore, that will be a major focus, is to get our own radio and television station as soon as possible.
And then what about coming back home to Tobago? What about in terms of, you know, getting our Tobagonian Calypsonians on the stage? Because it's a complaint that, you know, when our artists, and this goes across the board, not just for Calypso, but it goes across the board for many other aspects or competitions, that when Tobagonians go down to Trinidad, they may get on the stage, but they don't get to advance to the finals and so on. And they often claim victimization from judges who think that nothing good is coming out of Tobago.
Well, the judging is always a debatable situation. Whether you're from Tobago or from San Fernando or Toco, you'll always have your own version of why you're not selected to a particular final or competition. I won't deal with that because, you know, judging is a very peculiar thing, and I won't want to get into that. But what is important for me, though, in terms of Tobago, is to ensure that the Tobagos of the past, the Tobago competitions, are reinstated. Tobago has been ignored and neglected by a leader who seems to be only focused on his gratification. And therefore, if the leader isn't showing interest in his own zone, then obviously the zone will be disrespected by the other zones and the other members of the Calypso community. So that's the first thing I want to do, is to spend some time in Tobago, reopen the office, ensure the administration is up to par, recognize some of the elder Calypsonians who are not even aware of the election coming because they have been ignored, they have been pushed aside by this current leader. And therefore, Tobago becomes a major part, as it's supposed to be in the scheme of things for the advancement of Calypso in Trinidad and Tobago and the world.
All right, and as we're getting ready to wrap up, Dr. Otley, sorry, could you just just going to give you a minute to, you know, just to speak to the people that are going to be having a vote in the Tuco elections as to why you should be the new president of Tuco.
I want to speak specifically to my brethren and sisters from Tobago. As I said, as a member of the Tobago family, I feel Tobago has been ignored, Tobago has been ostracized, the Tobago Calypsonians have been divided by aimless leadership, and we need to get back to the core of what makes Tobago an important an important part of the Tobago Unified Calypsonians organizations. And therefore, if you want to come back as a major part of the TUCO establishment, I'm asking Tobagonians, come out and vote for me, support me. I will ensure that you receive the recognition, the opportunities, the financing that you so deserve to make the Tobago zone one of the beacons of our zonal system into the Tobago Unified Calypsonian organization.
All right, I want to thank you so much, Dr. Rudolph Otley, for being on with us and for sharing your vision, and wish you best of luck in the TUCO elections coming up in a couple weeks' time as we wrap this conversation.
Okay, thank you very much. And just to remind you again, it's on Saturday the 19th, the elections at the Grandstand Peace Park. Thank you.
All right, great. All right, viewers, well, that's it for GMT this morning. I want to thank you so much for being on with us. And just make sure that as you go off today to do your business and whatnot, that you remain safe on the roads. It's a bit of a rainy weather out there. So just be mindful of that as you go out. All right, so have a safe and wonderful day, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise. The